going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video where I'm delighted to announce that Manchester City have signed Abdukodir Khusanov from RC Lens in France. So we'll speak more about welcoming Khusanov to Manchester City, and we'll also speak about what he could bring to the club and what to expect with Manchester City's newest signing. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe, rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates to keep you guys up to date every single step of the way with all the latest Manchester City transfer news here on YouTube every single day. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. We're going to go for 800 likes, and also don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below welcoming Khusanov to Manchester City. So it is City's newest signing, and I'm really excited about this. I think one of the big teething problems that Manchester City have had, not just in this transfer window, but probably for the next 2 to 3 transfer windows, certainly this summer, certainly going into the next winter transfer window, where City don't normally do business in the winter transfer window, yet we've chosen to do this business here in this window, and there could potentially be even more business being done by Manchester City. In fact, I'd expect more business from Manchester City to be done, and it's the first time that we've seen City doing any business in the January winter transfer window since 2017. So Manchester City have a lot of work to do when it comes to bringing players in and trying to bring the average age of the squad down, and that is firmly what I believe this signing is all about. And it's not just a case of, oh, Rodri's got an injury, let's pick up a central defensive midfielder and let's move on from there, and he's the biggest priority, so we've got to target that position first. If there is a player available who Manchester City like, who they want to bring in, then you make that transfer happen, and that's exactly what's happened with this transfer. 20 years old, he's going to bring the average age of that squad right down, and he's going to provide competitive competition for all of Manchester City's defence. Manuel Akanji, Ruben Diaz, Joshko Vardiel, Nathan Ake, John Stones. There's competitive competition now for their spots, but also, and probably quite crucial this, we've been pretty injury prone when it comes to defenders this season, and we've had to go with makeshift defences. We've had to move players out of position to try and accommodate, and that's all to do with depth and not having enough players. With the tight turnaround that we've got of seasons and more games coming in to each and every season, I think Pep Guardiola here is starting to abandon his philosophy of having a really small squad, because you've got to have them options if players are going to keep picking up reoccurring injuries and they're tired and they can't be rotated. So you need depth and you need options. So when you bring these players in, they've got to be of a really young, fit, competitive age, and that's exactly what Khusanov is. 20 years old, he's a raw talent. I'm not expecting him to come in and start playing like Ruben Diaz. It isn't going to happen. I always say give a player 2 years at Manchester City before they're going to adapt to Pep Guardiola's system and adapt to the Premier League, whereas with Khusanov, we're looking at an Uzbekistan international who's never played in England. Has he ever spent more than a day or two in England other than playing Champions League football with RC Lens? Probably not. He isn't accustomed to what culture and life is like in Manchester. Has he ever been to Manchester before? There's a lot of adapting for him to do. It's going to take time, and that's okay. Patience is key. Look at Rodri when we brought him in. First season wasn't amazing. Yet he's now the best player in the world. It's all about giving players enough time to develop, to mature, and to grow into what their potential can be. And with Manchester City shelling out a lot of money to bring Khusanov in, Manchester City clearly rate him and clearly have seen something. Now, what I really like about Khusanov, and this is what he can bring to Manchester City, is he's got an abundance of pace. He's powerful, he's quick, and having a really good defender who is, to me, when I've looked at the clips of him, he looks like a no-nonsense defender. He isn't going to let players get past him, and if they are going to get past him, you can mark my words, they'll be brought down. A free kick will be given. They're not going to be let through on goal. So as long as he's got other players around him covering, then I'm not too concerned about him putting some of what people have described as reckless challenges in, because to me, it's only going to be a reckless challenge if it's going to lead to a red card or a penalty or a potential goal-scoring opportunity. So Khusanov, he likes to attack, he likes to get forward, he's got pace that he can get back, and I think he's got some learning to do, definitely. Raw talent is the word I'm going to use rather than reckless. He is a player who needs to work on his decision making. He needs to work on when he needs to go forward, on when he needs to put a challenge in, or when is it best for him to hold off, so to speak. And that to me is going to be his big learning curve at Manchester City. But he's a hard worker. If he knuckles down, listens to the coaches, learns from his mistakes, then he will turn into a top centre-back. And what I really like about Khusanov is he's a defender that we don't currently have at Manchester City. We don't have a quick out-and-out centre-back, a powerful centre-back, a centre-back who's going to put some challenges in and really get stuck in. I'm really looking forward when we're playing really competitive games and teams are looking to try and bully Manchester City. Khusanov isn't going to get bullied. He's a bully himself. He's not going to get bullied. And having them kind of defenders around other world-class defenders, I think, could rub off on them and just help Manchester City's defence to become more mean. And at times, Manchester City's defence has been frail. It's looked weak. It needs a bit of toughness in there, and I'm hoping that Khusanov is really going to bring that. Bringing the average age of the squad down, bringing in something that we don't currently have in terms of his attributes, with a lot of pace and power. I'm really excited about this transfer, and I think one of the things that not really been mentioned by people is more than likely we lose Kyle Walker this summer, and he's already started to lose his pace. So when it comes to pace at the back, there isn't too much there for Manchester City. So when it comes to targeting centre-backs and defenders, for that matter, bringing in young, pacey defenders will pay dividends for Manchester City, and Khusanov is definitely going to bring that, I can guarantee it. So I'm really excited about this transfer. He's not the complete article. We haven't spent 70, 80 million pounds. That's what you spend for money on for complete defenders. He's not a complete defender. He's got some learning to do. I have no doubt that he'll more than likely hit the ground running at Manchester City, and he's going to allow us to be able to, at the very least, for the remainder of this season, rotate our players, ease our injury crisis, and provide competitive competition for our players at the back. And we've got some depth there as well, which is always going to be a huge bonus. So I'm really excited about seeing what Khusanov can do for Manchester City. I'm really excited about this transfer, and I'm delighted that Manchester City, who can sometimes be really hesitant, so I am wondering, with Chicky obviously leaving Manchester City in the summer, and we've got Hugo Viana, who we've already seen pictures of in Manchester, is having some influence about a no-nonsense approach to transfers. And I'll tell you right now, it's exactly what's needed. I like it. This Chicky and Hugo Viana partnership that we're getting is getting business done, and it's getting it done quickly. The fact that we're sitting here and we're still pretty early into the January transfer window and managed to seal a transfer for a player who, let's face it, 10 days ago, nobody knew who he was. Nobody was linking Manchester City with him. City have done their homework, kept things on the down low, struck quickly, and managed to negotiate a good transfer to bring in a competitive player into the squad. And this isn't going to be the last. I'm excited. Good business from Manchester City. I'm excited for the future. The transition starts now with this transfer. Abdukodir Khusanov, welcome to the blue side of Manchester. So there we go. That has been the video. Do leave a thumbs up. 800 likes. Get your thoughts in the comments below welcoming Abdukodir Khusanov to Manchester City. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single step of the way, every single day here on YouTube with daily Manchester City transfer updates. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on to be notified immediately for when I do upload. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next Manchester City video. Welcome Abdukodir Khusanov. Peace. Ciao for now.